Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with, this is springtime, so we are embarking on, springtime is usually a great time for selling, but I'm kind of worried about the market for the homes, first-time home buyers. Um, the American starter home, expensive, small, broken down, and hard to find. So I wanted to go over this article from Julia and talk about it and see what you guys might think. So this is spring and home buying season. First-time home buyers may feel as if there's an American dream. Their American dream might turn into a nightmare. Starter homes have become scarcer, pricier, smaller, and older, and more likely in need of TLC than they were 6 years ago. And um, we've been monitoring these home sales for the past 6 years. So I wanted to delve in that. Why is that? I think there's a lot of houses out there that need TLC. But a lot of times the home buyers, the new home buyers, don't have any money to put in, say, $150,000 to fix up after buying their house. You pay $350,000 and you have to put $100,000 in it just to live in it. It's usually not in the greatest neighborhood. That it's just hard. So that I think is a major problem, as well as, you have people who are the investors buying up the property at 350 and putting in 150 and then selling it a profit for 200, and it's skyrocketing. The market is going crazy. Now the housing inventory is up 3.3%. This is the first time it had hit positive territory since the same period in 2015. So what makes it crazy is that the starter home inventory plummeted 14.2% this quarter. Starter homes lead in price increases across all segments. The median listing price for available starter homes increased 9.6%, while prices for trade-up premium homes only rose 7.5% or 5.2% depending on the area. Starter homes are increasingly unaffordable. The share of the income needed to purchase a home across starter, trade-up, and premium segments reached new highs, largely because the increase in mortgage rates since the start of 2018. So the rates have increased, the prices are out of the world, and you can't even start to think about just putting your savings together to buy a house unless you have more of a savings to fix it up. So, it's kind of, it's hard, but I think it's important to know what you're getting into before you start looking to see what you can settle with. You might want to look for a house that it needs work, but it's still habitable, you know. Nationally, total inventory tumbled to the second lowest level since we began looking at, what's going on with the tracking of inventory in homes. The biggest dips in overall housing supply were led by Knoxville, Tennessee, San Jose, California, and Las Vegas. Knoxville, Tennessee is minus 30.1%. San Jose is 26.2, minus 26.2%, and Las Vegas is 19.9%. negative 19.9%. So, you know, it's tumbling. The supply is there, but who wants to live? Or maybe it's just too much. You can't afford it. You know, are starter homes a non-starter for first-time home buyers? What do you guys think? In addition to facing dwindling supply and escalating home prices, starter home buyers must also contend with homes on the market that are smaller and lower quality than they were 6 years ago. Looking at how the inventory starter home has changed over the past 6 years, we found that starter home qualities appears to be on the wane as measured by the home age and the share of those that are fixer-uppers. Starter homes are on average over 9 years older than they were in 2012. Starter homes are also less likely to be move-in ready, with fixer-uppers comprising 11.2% of the starter home segment compared to the 10.3 6 years ago. Among all housing segments, fixer-uppers are actually decreased by 0.6% points down to 4.8%. So you see, that whole market, because a lot of investors are getting involved and they have to make their money. So even if you want to start a home that's fixed up, which is more of those, it's going to be more expensive. So it's not going to be move-in ready if you look at a starter home, and you shouldn't expect it. And it might be better if you just take it slow, and instead of looking for the biggest and the best and the totally remodel with all the upgrades, you might have to go into the property and it's not bad, but it needs some upgrades, and you just, you do the bathroom, you do the kitchen, you get your friends to help you, you learn how to do it, and look for the sales and just do it on your own. That's what it seems like. Starter homes shrunk by 2% in terms of square footage, while homes of higher price points grew by 8.6% more in square footage. So see, you can't afford it. It's too expensive. You have to move in a house that does not have any quality, is not good for living conditions, and you're getting less square footage. I mean, I saw a house that was in a nice area, but it was totally a starter home. They wanted 1.3 million and it was only 1,100 square feet. That's how ridiculous it is. Some markets saw a share of fixer-uppers among starter homes rise considerably, as in Camden, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Oklahoma City. They led markets where fixer-uppers became more common than they were in 2012. So in these states, fixer-uppers are working. The rise in overall inventory masked the lopsided supply changes across housing segments. While inventory is up 3.3%, the quarter year-over-year increase has been driven among completely by 13.3% of annual increases in premium homes. Meanwhile, starter homes inventory plummeted 14.2%. Nationally, in fact, starter homes inventory dipped to the lowest number since the report started. Keeping track at the start of 2012. So you see, since 2012, the market for starter homes is going down. Um, it seems like the fixer-uppers are the new starter homes, but they're gonna cost a little bit more because somebody has taken the time to go into the starter home, board it up, no plumbing, pay money to do those things, but they want a profit. That's the world we're living in. Home prices and the share of income needed to afford a home among the starter home segment also outpaces both trade up and premium segments. So, home starter, people who are trying to just buy a home for the first time, they're getting it left and right. Everybody else who has owned homes before, it's not that bad. The acute inventory shortage among the starter home market translates to a steep 9.6% increase in starter homes prices since this time last year. With 41.2% of income needed to buy a starter home, the 4.2 percentage point increase in the largest year over year across all segments in record. In comparison, trade up homes command a 2.2% increase in the share in income needed to purchase a home, while premium homes require a 1.1% point increase. See, you don't need a whole lot of money if you already have property and you want to reinvest, or if you're living in a swanky neighborhood, it's not going to be as much as it would if you're just trying to get into this business or just trying to buy a home. The market that are least affordable are concentrated in California, with Boston being the sole market not located on the Golden State, in the Golden State. In some of the most expensive places in the country, like San Francisco, San Jose, and Los Angeles, these income earners at the bottom third of the market would need to spend all their money and more, over 100%, to afford a medium starter home. So basically, it'll cost all your money that you have, and you'll have to borrow from mom and dad or get it from somewhere, because that's what it's going to need to buy a house. In Los Angeles, I know that for a fact. And I look at people who have parents who would be able to give them a little starter money, cushion. They're lucky, because not everybody can afford that, and not everybody got parents like that, you know? But that's the skinny on it. The starter home prices amongst all 10 of these markets has also increased since this time last year. So people are doing what they got to do, you know? Starter home shrinking, the inventory size. Not only are starter home buyers facing some of the lowest inventory on record, but the homes available to them in the market are less appealing in terms of size and quality. While average size of a home has increased from 2012 across the listings, starter homes listings have shrunk to see what I said? 1,187 square feet from 1,211 square feet in 2012. So you losing square footage, you losing money, it's taking all your money, and there's not a whole lot out there. So you're fighting over what is out there. Also, we also identified that where fixer-uppers using terms in listing descriptions such as fixer, as is, TLC, methodology for the full list of terms, These fixer-uppers now constitute a smaller share of the listings now than they did 6 years ago. But among starter homes listing, they have increased to 11.2% and 10.3% of listings. The rise of fixer-upper among available starter homes inventory points to the particular alarming trend of decreasing quality and hidden costs. Hidden costs because the roof might be terrible, the plumbing might not exist, the electrical needs updating. So those are all hidden. The foundation could be a mess. Those are all hidden costs. Fixer-uppers represent, along with the age of the homes, lower quality homes. So, even while starter home prices have appreciated nearly 60% since 2012, prospective home buyers are getting far less for their money. In fact, a fixer-upper might even be a trade-up home in disguise. Isn't that awful? You have your home and you're trying to get a new home, and you're going to have to settle for a fixer-upper because your money can't go that long. It's ridiculous. The price and repairs, along with potential rental payments while a fixer-upper is being upgraded, could push the true cost of a home into a trade-up segment. Increased competition and high prices also mean that sellers have little incentive to upgrade property before listing them. Isn't that something? It used to be when I had a listing appointment, I could say, look, if you want top dollar, you need to spruce up the yard, put a fresh coat of paint on the house. Maybe you should try to update the cabinets in the kitchen and, spruce up the bathroom. And then maybe you'll get $20,000 more, $25,000 more. Nowadays, you don't have to do anything. People want to buy and they're paying cash. It's a terrible, terrible situation. But that's what you got to live with. You got to live with it and find a way to deal with it, or don't deal with it, or use some other means. What does the 2018 home buying season hold for first-time home buyers? Starters home buyers are facing a perfect storm of lowest inventory, highest prices, and lowest levels of affordability among all housing segments. In addition, the quality and size of a home available in this segment has worsened to the point where first-time home buyers are likely to feel their choice are even more limited. Meanwhile, mortgage rates have been climbing since the beginning of 2018, worsening affordability. While 2017's housing starts reflected a highest number we have seen in 10 years, they have yet to translate to any relief in the starter home segment. So all this is going on, and Washington, D.C. act like they're oblivious to what's happening, but they're not. How are they going to help, the American dream if you can't even afford the American dream? You can't even afford to think about it. The methodology. Inventory and Price Watch provides 3 metrics: the number of shared inventory that are starter homes, trade-up properties, and premium homes. The change in share and number of these homes, and 3, the affordability of these homes for this type of buyer. First-time home buyer, young couple, just starting out, may have a little baby, want to get their own home. don't have a lot of experience, been in the market, the work market, employment market, maybe they own their own business, only a couple of years, they trying to save as much as they can, but the cost of living is so high, and to try to save 150,000 to put down on a 10% down on a house is difficult. We define the price cutoffs of each segment based on home values estimate of the entire housing stock, not listing price. For example, we estimate the value of each single family home and condo and divide these estimates into three groups. The lower third we classify as starter homes. The middle third is a trade up, and the upper third is the premium homes. We classify as listing as classify a listing as a starter home on the market if its listing falls below the price cutoff between starter and trade up. This is a subtle but important difference between inventory report points and others. This is because the mix of homes on the market can change over time and can cause large swings in the price points used to define each segment. For example, a premium home comprised of relatively large share of homes for sale. It can make a lower third of the listing look like they're become more expensive when in fact prices in the lower third of the housing stock are unchanged. Our national metrics are weighed sum of the listings and weighted average of affordability of the 100 largest metropolitan areas. And our inventory measure is an average of snapshots taken on the first of each month of the quarter. Last, we measure affordability as to the share of income needed to purchase the median price home in each segment relative to the metro area household income terciles. To lessen the downward screw of income in households in the lowest tercile, we estimate starter home buyers' income using only household incomes of homeowners within the segment. Note that in the version of the inventory and price watch, we took the national share of each segment after taking the weighted percentage of the counts. This correct calculations is in previous reports. The characteristics of starter home reflect the listings included the inventory counts for the standard inventory and price reports, watch reports. Metro level characteristics such as square footage and age of the home are reported as medians, while national metrics are weighted averages of 100 largest metropolitan area. Fixer-uppers were identified using key words available in property listings descriptions from these listings were available. Listing descriptions that include terms as fixer, as is, needs work, deferred maintenance, and TLC, including all letter 3 combinations and like permutation of these terms were flagged as fixer-uppers. So as you can see, you have to, if you're looking for a fixer-upper, look for those keywords, TLC, as is, Those are terms that probably you can find something a little cheaper. And trust me, look for the hidden costs. If they're asking you for 500,000 and you walk in there and you see problems like the ceilings are cracked and the roof don't look that good and the plumbing may not be up to snuff and the electrical and the foundation might have a little, unevenness going on in the house. Those are hidden expense. I suggest that you take in your a person who is adept at looking at property and giving you a base cost for what this house will truly cost. Once you buy it, the money that you would have to spend. Foundations can go anywhere from 50 to 100,000. Plumbing can go up. I think plumbing could be like 20,000. You know, electrical 20,000. You got to upgrade the bathroom, 5 to 10,000. And if you have two, you know what that means, 10 to 20,000. The kitchen, 10,000. 10 to 15,000 for the kitchen. Hardwood floors, you're going to want new floors, carpets, that's going to cost. So just be mindful and just keep looking. Just don't plan on having it by next summer, or just because you'll be looking for like a needle in a haystack. And I suggest that you get an agent who has the patience to go around with you, and maybe they have a contractor that could come and check something out that you like and give you, a value of what could be done. You can get an inspection of the property, but that costs. But to me, I would rather pay $300 for an inspection and find out exactly what I need to do before I pay $350,000 or $500,000 to buy a house and then find out that I have to put in another $100,000 just to have water running properly or just to have electrical. So you figure $300 to tell me if I could do this, or just wing it and pay more money that you don't have. But if you have it, that's good. If you have parents that has money and that can help you, that's good. If you have savings, that's good. But it's really important to buy property and be a homeowner. So I wouldn't want you not to do that. I just want you to be aware and be cautious when you make your move. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for sitting this through with me, and hopefully you liked it. Comment. Let me know what you want to talk about. I could research, find articles, and we could talk about it. Okay? Thank you very much, and make it a great day.